All right. Well, welcome. Tonight we're going to learn more about olive oil from Greece. We talk about olive oil and learning about it a lot in our classes. And tonight we have our Greek producers with us. We're really lucky both of them are here. Both of the brothers. Yay. So we have Dino and Diamantis are here. So guys,
hello everybody.
how you guys doing?
We're doing well. We're doing well.
We're good. We're excited. First time doing something like this for us.
Well, cool. We're getting, you know what, we're learning about things too. So we're going to show a little slideshow in a little while. But first of all, guys, tell us a little bit about us. About you, I should say, not us.
Big go.
Sure.
So we are, thank you so much. I hope everybody's good in Minnesota. I'm so glad that we are fortunate enough to talk to you about our olive oil, and you're willing to listen to us. It's very important. Thank you, Terry, so much for having us and for carrying our olive oil. It means so much to us.
Absolutely. We love your olive oil and favorite balsamics.
So just to give you a little information about us, we're from a very small town in the southern Peloponnese, 30 minutes south of Sparta. We're right by the water. We're fourth-generation olive oil producers. We have over 5,000 Koroneiki olive trees.
Wow.
Koroneiki is our olive varietal. So it is one of the most treasured fruits for us. So it's been in our family for over 4 generations, and we're the most awarded Greek extra virgin olive oil in the largest olive oil competition in the world, which happens in New York. And this coming Monday, we've been awarded 6 consecutive years, and we're hoping to be awarded again this coming Monday when they're going to make the announcement.
Oh,
Everybody's in quarantine now, so nobody can visit. Usually we go and visit to pick up our award. But what makes our olive oil unique, I want to just mention. I mentioned to you that it's the Koroneiki varietal. I didn't just mention it's extra virgin olive oil because the varietal is what gives a good olive oil its profile. So the varietal is what is very important, just like wine. I'm sure a lot of you might drink wine. You don't buy a bottle of wine because it says it's wine. You buy a bottle of wine because it says it's a Merlot or a Cab. Am I correct? I can hear you, but I can see your heads.
By the way, I should say, as people have questions, you can chat with us through the chat, and then we'll open it up at the end for more questions on one-on-one basis. Yeah. So go ahead.
So it's very important. Yes, that's very, very important because I have a lot of information to share with you, but it's also very important that I get to answer questions that you may have about extra virgin olive oil. So please keep that in mind because a lot of times I'll just keep on and talking and talking. I'm trying to give you as much information as I can, and I lose track and I just keep going. So please stop me and I'll answer specific questions that you may have. So we grow the Koroneiki varietal, like I was mentioning. The Koroneiki varietal that we grow, it's one of the smallest olive varietals in the world. It's very small. We're going to show you a little video later so Terry can show you how small our olive fruit is. But what makes it so unique and what makes our extra virgin olive oil unique, we don't just focus on making an extra virgin olive oil. It's very important that we make a very healthy extra virgin olive oil. And this is the key for us. Olive oil, you may know, I'm sure maybe Terry has mentioned to you, olive oil is the most adulterated food product in the supermarkets. So everything is labeled extra virgin olive oil, which is completely wrong. The olive varietal gives the olive oil its profile. And on top of that, you don't know how healthy the extra virgin olive oil is. Even if you are lucky to pick up a bottle that is real, that is unadulterated. So how do they measure the healthiness of an olive oil? So everybody buys, I'm assuming, extra virgin olive oil because it's healthy. Am I correct?
Yes.
So if you're looking for a healthy olive oil, there's something called polyphenols in extra virgin olive oil. And this is what we try to always get, a high number of polyphenols, which is measured in milligrams per liter of olive oil. A regular olive oil, just to give you an idea of how important this is, and companies were not allowed to even put our polyphenol count on a bottle of olive oil. Oh, how do you sound? I'm so sorry about this. We're closed, but people are still calling.
They still want to buy.
It should stop.
All right. Sorry about this.
That's all right.
I'm so sorry about this. So it's all about the polyphenol count for us. The polyphenols are the antioxidants in an extra virgin olive oil, and they can be measured. But you'll notice that no olive oil in the supermarket will tell you, when you look at the nutritional values in the back of the bottle, what the antioxidants in that olive oil really are. So we're here to tell you that they can be measured, and we do feature them because this is what makes olive oil so healthy for you. The average olive oil in the supermarket has polyphenol count of 50 milligrams per liter. A lot of times it's referred as the ppm number, parts per million. So what we call it as milligrams per liter to measure how much antioxidants are in a bottle of olive oil. So when in a typical bottle of olive oil, when you have 50, our polyphenol count is over 400. So it is extremely, extremely healthy for you. This year we had a 440 polyphenol count. Depending on the year and the conditions of, obviously the weather plays a big role on the polyphenol count. The soil, so we're right by the water, so all our Koroneiki olive trees, they are sand-grown Koroneiki olive trees by the sand, and the sand acts as a great filtration system. It actually stresses the trees a lot because it doesn't allow any impurities, and it doesn't hold any water. And what this does to a tree, it stresses the tree out when they lack the nutrients and it lacks the water. It creates almost, I could call them, the olive fruit is like the offspring of the tree. So the offspring, in order for the tree to survive, it produces stronger offspring. So high antioxidants, whereas let's say an olive grove that is overly watered to produce a lot of fruit is always fed. So it has lower, typically they have lower amounts of antioxidants. But those producers make more oil.
Does it matter about the weather being, if it's in a cooler region versus a warmer region on polyphenols?
Yes, absolutely. So, I mean, there's different olive varietals, and depending on the olive varietal, so we have the Koroneiki, there's other regions where the soil is different, or it might be more north from us. Those olive oils tend to mature faster. The soil plays a big role because although we may grow the same Koroneiki varietal as another producer, they'll produce a completely different profile. It's just like wine. And those olive oils, if the soil retains a lot of moisture, then the polyphenols drop.
Okay.
What is very important too, this is just one factor for us, what we do differently about stressing our tree. The other very important thing that we do, we always we always make an olive oil from very young green fruit. And this is a very important factor in a quality olive oil. So green fruit are the oils, young fruit are typically the oils that have higher amounts of antioxidants. But how do you know the bottle in the supermarket is made from young fruit to give you a better chance, since it won't mention the polyphenol count? There's certain characteristics in an olive oil that is high in polyphenols. An olive oil that is high in polyphenols, made from young green fruit, you'll get aromas of green or grass in the oil. It's an indication just from the aroma alone from the oil, because keep in mind you're tasting a fruit. So an olive oil should have fruity characteristics, very, very important, because olive oil is being cut down with canola oils and vegetable oils. You're tasting a fruit. So a good olive oil will taste fruity. And when you know that it is made from a young fruit, you'll get notes of green grass. As fruit matures, it mellows out. The polyphenols drop, and you'll get more of a mellow olive oil. A lot of times people will refer, oh, it's sweet. You may not get a pepperiness in the back of your throat. Does that make sense?
Yep, we're always looking for that pepperiness in the back of the throat.
The pepperiness, a lot of times it is, you'll get a young olive oil, a healthy olive oil tends to be a little bit bitter. There's bitterness in the olive oil as well. But those are very positive attributes for a high quality extra virgin olive oil. Now this is still very new for the consumers, the healthy olive oils, because we've become accustomed to the olive oils that they've been selling us at the supermarkets, which tend to be very mellow.
Yes, very mild.
Very, very mild. And they'll tell us that, you know, especially I always push away, people don't buy olive oil that says that what is the title that they use? I see all the time for extra virgin olive oil.
Cold press.
Light extra virgin olive oils. Does anybody buy light extra virgin olive oils?
We teach people not to.
No, not these people. This is a trained group. I love it. This is an educated group.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's no such thing as light olive oil. A lot of people don't know that. There's extra virgin olive oil, which is the highest grade, and within that grade, you have your very, very high-end extra virgin olive oils. So the world production, just to give you an idea, maybe less than 10% of a country's olive oil production comes out as extra virgin. Yet, you know, you see over 75% labeled as such.
Yes, that's true. That's a very low percentage, 10%.
Yes, of a country's production. So it is very unusual for you to go to the supermarket and you see over 75% labeled extra virgin. I've
done some reading on the different countries that send out things to the United States that use adulterated. Do producers in Greece do that also? I've heard they don't do it quite as much as what some of the other countries do.
They don't, but what's happening is all the big companies, a lot of big companies are guilty for that. Because you have to understand, although Greece has excess olive oil, basically Greece, we produce more than we consume, so there's extra that we can actually export.
Okay.
But that is not enough to cover the demand, the world demand.
Yes.
Italy is, as you know, olive oil is the largest distributor of extra virgin olive oil.
Okay.
What is interesting though with Italy, Italy controls the olive market. That's why there's so many Italian olive oils out there.
Okay.
Italy as a country, they consume double the amount that they produce.
Wow.
So half of the Italian population does not consume Italian olive oil.
Okay.
Yet they supply the rest of the world with an unlimited amount. So the way it works, usually big Italian companies, they come to the Greek mills. They don't necessarily look for any type of grade of olive oil, really high quality olive oil. They're just buying olive oil because it's going to get labeled as extra virgin olive oil.
Okay. Now, are you guys new to the market in the United States?
We are very new. You know,
Fairly
we've
new.
been bringing our olive oil here. The last 10 years, we started importing our olive oil, and we started winning some major awards. But it's from a single estate olive oil, so our production is not big to cover for you to see us in any supermarkets.
Yes.
And we don't have the manpower to harvest all those trees all at once. So we are in a smaller, we're targeting consumers that are looking for a very high-end extra virgin olive oil.
And are health conscious.
And are very health conscious.
Which we appreciate that very much.
And
now,
that's what we do.
When you were growing up, were you picking olives?
We were picking olives. We were picking olives.
More so helping out more.
But it's so funny that you mention it. A lot of producers, we may think that because someone is a producer, they must know what good quality olive oil is. What's interesting though, when we started making our olive oil, you know, we're 4 generations of olive oil producers. The last 10 years, we truly discovered what a high quality extra virgin olive oil is.
Okay.
And this applies to a lot of producers. The demand for extra virgin olive oils surpasses the world production. So what we were doing before we started, you know, we're making olive oil and we're selling our olive oil to the mills. They weren't expecting any type of any grading system. They weren't testing our olive oils to see how healthy or how high of a quality it is. So this does 2 things to producers. And this is what's happening to the majority of producers internationally. The majority of the producers, they're selling their olive oil directly to the mills. The mills are not willing to pay the true value of a healthy olive oil. So it doesn't benefit the producer to harvest early, or to train the trees a certain way, to stress the trees a certain way to produce a higher quality olive oil. We're trained to mass produce.
Yeah.
So it was always important for producers, they always pick fruit from very mature fruit to make more oil. So something else that's very unique with us, I mentioned that we pick very young green fruit. And this is something that plays a factor in why a typical olive oil that's very high in polyphenols, in the nutritional values and the health benefits that it offers, why it's usually higher priced. The reason is because when we are picking fruit that is very young, unripe green fruit, we lose over half of our production. Because the green fruit has a lot less oil. So our yield, for example, for 1 liter of olive oil, we need 9 times that. We need 9 pounds of fruit for 1 pound of oil, 1 liter. If we're
big difference.
Very big. And if we were to wait a month, 2 months to harvest, our yield will drop with a ratio of 4 to 1. We'd only need 4 pounds of fruit to 1 pound of oil.
Wow.
So we're losing a lot of our yield. We're sacrificing a lot of the yield for that higher quality olive oil. Okay. And it's unfortunate because those producers will also call their olive oil extra virgin olive oil. But in the profile of the fruit and what it offers, the nutritional value and the polyphenol, the antioxidants in the olive oil is night and day. You would not be able to tell that it's the same oil, even from the neighboring grove. You'd be like, it's completely different.
Okay.
So it's very noticeable once you train your palate to recognize a very healthy extra virgin olive oil.
Wow, that's great. We're going to put up a map where we've got a question about where you're from. So we have town circled, and we have where where your orchards are. We think we do, so you have to tell us if we're right.
Yeah, let me see if you got it right. Let me see there.
Should be this one.
It's coming.
Oh.
There we go. Did we get it somewhat right?
Let me see. I don't see anything yet.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
There we
yes.
That's right, down there.
Yes,
So
down there.
right there, we're right on the water. We're on the southern tip, right between. Yep, right there.
There it is.
It's pronounced, yeah, Trinisa. And if you were to zoom in, the reason it's called Trinisa, there's
On the left.
It means, the word Trinisa means 3 islands. And right in front, I know maybe the map you can't really see it, there's 3 islands in front of our area.
Oh,
Right there, right
yeah.
there. So
Okay.
that's where it gets its name, 3 islands. It's called Trinisa.
Okay. And then the circle above that is where the two of you live. when you're
Yes.
in Greece.
Scala, that is our hometown.
That's our hometown.
It's a population of 5,000. So it's a big agricultural community, primarily a lot of citrus trees.
Okay.
Scala.
How long do you, how many months a year do you stay in Greece?
So, so me and my brother, we split our time. Right now, I'm usually in Greece. So I'm glad that I was able to be here due to the coronavirus. I couldn't travel, but I'm there 5-6 months, and then my brother, we split, and then my brother goes.
Now, you had told me one time that you get about 8 months of sunshine a year.
Yes. So in the southern Greece where we are, we have an ideal climate. So there's a very warm weather. Even our winters, when we're harvesting, we start our harvest on the 1st of November, typically. End of October, early the 1st of November. We have temperatures in the winter, maybe 65 degrees. So
Wow.
it still doesn't get much really cold over there.
That's kind of nice.
It's warm
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, that's our warm right now.
Yeah, and because we're in the valley, surrounded by two great mountain ranges on either side, it almost produces like a microclimate where it doesn't really, and because we're at sea level, it doesn't really allow any of that external weather to like thunderstorms or heavy weather to really affect us, because that area in the valley with the cool ocean breeze always allows for clear skies.
Oh, that's nice. Do you get enough rain in that territory?
In the winter, more than the summer. In the summer, we might get maybe once, twice in 4 months. We might get like two times of rain, and that's like maybe like 40 minutes each time. So most of the work is a lot more work because of the watering and.
When is it critical for them to have water, the trees to have water in their
You control for us it's all about stressing. When is it critical? Usually in the winter time is very important. If we get rain during the winter months, especially after we finish the harvest, then it's considered very good for the trees to start to be ready for the spring. Then we really want it to be dry. We don't want a lot of rain.
Okay.
Because rain brings a lot of moisture, which causes other types of issues with the trees.
Okay.
So after that, it's all about controlling the irrigation, controlling how much. And let's say it does rain. 1 year a little bit more than another. We have to cut back. We have to be able to see the weather and cut back on how much water we're going to give the trees during the summer months.
Okay.
So we constantly have to be, watchful and be alert to what's happening, how much water, and we actually measure all that. there's a science for someone who really wants to make a very healthy extra virgin olive oil. You know, you have to control all these factors because a lot of times the weather doesn't want to do what you expect. So you have to be, it's not cooperating. So you have to be always creative.
Now, this time of the year, you told me you start to get the little blossoms, the little white blossoms.
Yes.
And then after they fall, then that's when the olives will start to appear.
Absolutely.
And how
So
many?
a lot of people don't know that an olive is a fruit too. You know, it's actually a fruit.
It is. I know.
A lot of times I hear, you know, it's olive oil is a type of vegetable oil. I'm like, no, there's no such thing. It's actually a fruit oil.
Oil.
It's just the juice of the fruit.
About how many pounds of olives do you get per tree? I get.
How many pounds? So depends on the age of the tree.
Okay.
And you have to pruning. We control the pruning. So on a large tree, we may get maybe 100 kilos, 150 kilos of fruit. Other trees a little bit more, a little bit less. We do have a lot of younger trees too. So it all depends on the age of the tree. But we try to control, yeah.
How old are your oldest trees?
Our oldest trees are over 90 years old.
Okay.
And then our youngest ones maybe are 5 years old, right?
Yeah,
Dino?
5, I would say.
5 is are the
6.
youngest ones that we have.
Okay. Now you had once said to me also that you have a few, I think I heard this right, you have a few Kalamata. You need 2 kinds in order to have them blend, or not to blend the olive oil, but to have bud in the spring.
For cross-pollination.
Okay.
It's good so the tree can fruit well.
Okay.
So they need a cross-pollinator. So we usually, within, you know, every 50 trees, we may have a Koroneiki, another Kalamata olive, or a different type of olive varietal to help the trees. Yeah, so that is true.
That is. Do you have, Paige, do you have the branch? Paige is going to try to bring up the picture of it when it's just starting. When it's
Yes.
And we're going to show a couple of those different ones coming up here. Okay. So, give a sec. So here's your groves.
Yes.
This is one part, yes.
Now, the age of these trees, would you think? Oh, there's your beautiful ocean you're on.
Yes. So those are the 3 islands right there.
Oh, these are the 3 islands. Okay.
Yes. There's no houses on them. They're very small. Usually we swim to them in the summertime. We swim.
It's so beautiful.
Yes, thank you.
There they are.
There they are, exactly.
So that's where they're at about now.
So right now, this is where, yes. Now these have not flowered yet. The flower has not opened yet.
Okay.
And then they blossom, and then it drops the leaves, and then it leaves behind where the olive starts to form.
Okay. Next one.
My father.
That's your father?
Yes.
This is my father. Yes. My father, he passed away 3 years ago. We started this together. This is my father.
And this is when we're getting to picking.
This is part of the
This
pruning.
is part of the pruning during the harvest.
Okay. And you see the mats on the bottom? Do you keep them out all the time?
No. So the gnats go down in order to collect the fruit because the harvesting piece is very manual.
Okay.
So we're actually physically pulling the fruit off. A green fruit, it doesn't want to fall off the tree. You have to force it off. So
we comb it off.
we have to comb it off. So we put those mats to so it doesn't hit the ground.
Yeah. Oh, wow. We have another one coming up. There you go. Those are the ones on the ground.
Yes, yes, yes.
So cool.
Yes, yes.
Right there. Look at all of them.
Yeah, so
Yes.
this is the green, yeah, exactly. Something else very important I want to mention. I know I can't hear everybody. I wish I could interact. So if they have questions, but I want to mention something that's very important about green fruit and how healthy they are. The antioxidant, the polyphenol count. Those oils. I want to mention the shelf life real quick.
Yes.
Because an olive oil that is very high in antioxidants has a much longer shelf life than an olive oil that is made from mature fruit. And what's holding it together are the polyphenols, the antioxidants in the olive oil. So the antioxidant plays a role in many aspects of the life of the olive oil. In the shelf life, it plays a big role on the temperature that it can handle. An olive oil that's higher in antioxidants can handle much higher temperatures. Contrary to what people think, that usually even you'll hear chefs a lot of times they'll say, "Oh, use your lower grade olive oils for your cooking." That's actually 100% false. They don't understand exactly the process. The reason they're telling you this is because those are less expensive olive oils, and for that I understand. But the truth is, the olive oil that can handle those higher temperatures is an olive oil that is made with higher more antioxidants in the olive oil, which is typically from more young green fruit.
Oh, thank you. That's so important. We get that question a lot.
Yes, and what's interesting,
people to cook with it, because we'll have some customers will come in and say, well, we'll use this for our finishing or special dishes, but we'll use something cheaper. And we've gotten people away from that because you want to always have really good flavor.
Yes, absolutely. Now I understand. I mean, we wouldn't necessarily go and fry with an olive oil like this because you'd be wasting a lot of olive oil. But it is ideal olive oil because of those polyphenols for sauteing, where you're not wasting a lot of olive oil. So we saute all the time. We bake with our olive oil all the time. So it's extremely healthy to use it in that way.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
We love to bake with it. Now that's one of the oils you were surprised at that I wanted. I think I have it right here. Let me look. Right here, the vanilla olive oil.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I use extra virgin olive oil. A lot of people also don't know that you can, like you said, bake with extra virgin olive oil. One thing that I've noticed from baking desserts with it is in muffins, in brownies, in all those kind of desserts. Extra virgin olive oil makes desserts more dense, but more moist, versus canola or vegetable oil, which makes it fluffier but much more drier.
Yeah.
We also, for example, because you said you use the vanilla olive oil, which is great for muffins, all that, brownies. I also tend to like to use blood orange olive oil when I make brownies. I just get the Ghirardelli box because I incorporate the blood orange olive oil instead of the canola oil that I asked for, and huge difference in smell and taste. I actually I made 2 boxes at one point during one Christmas, just to make a point for a group of ours, and all of them ended up getting all the blood orange brownies, because the ones made with canola had a stale smell and taste because of the canola, which is very, very flat in flavor, very, just almost stale taste.
Yes, we have after hour classes, and that's a big one that we do is brownies with the blood orange olive oil. And sometimes we'll add in just a couple tablespoons of the raspberry balsamic. So they get raspberry orange.
Perfect.
And we have fun with it. We have a question for you.
What do you use to flavor oils?
Oh, what do you use to flavor the oils and how do you do that?
Beautiful. You want me to get it?
Sure.
So just like our olive fruit, the olive is a fruit. So we take the natural fruits or herbs and we crush them the same way our olive fruit. So they're crushed and they're separated through a centrifuge. And the centrifuge separates the solids from the liquids, and we take that oil from the blood orange or the lemon oil, and we put that, we marry it with our extra virgin olive oil. And we always use our award-winning olive oil, our high polyphenol. So even our flavored olive oils are the exact same oil, very high in antioxidants.
Hence the bitterness that usually follows after.
Yes, but you know, you don't get that in your foods when you're cooking with it. Bitterness never comes through.
No.
No, maybe when you're tasting it, possibly.
And more raw, yes. That's when you can pick up more of even more aromas and pepperiness and the bite of the olive oil.
Yes, exactly.
I do want to mention one thing about going back before I forget about the shelf life, because this is a question, the shelf life of the oil. How long will this olive oil last? A lot of times, I don't know if anybody has that question, but I get asked all the time.
All the time, every single day.
Every single day. So our Koroneiki, our polyphenol count, this olive oil, by law, we have to put a 2-year expiration date on the bottle.
Okay.
So this is very touchy subject for us because the high polyphenols in this olive oil has much longer shelf life than that. So bottling is so interesting because bottling regulations for extra virgin olive oil, no matter of the quality, no matter of the polyphenol counts, if they're very low, every oil, they say from the time the bottle is filled, you have to put a 2-year expiration date. What's interesting with that is that most olive oils do not have a 2-year shelf life.
True.
If they lack the antioxidant, they may have a 6-month shelf life. So when you open it, you might try the olive oil and you'll be like, oh, I feel something is off. It tastes stale. It's because even if that olive oil was picked, that it was that year's harvest, it's gone bad because it lacked the antioxidants to hold it together to prevent it from the olive oil from breaking down.
Now,
So this olive oil has way over 2-year shelf life.
okay. Now this is the Koroneiki.
Yes.
Yes. Now, can you see it now?
No,
Where am I
your
going?
background.
Oh, my background.
My background's
taking over. Sorry about that. We have quite a few people picked up kits today, and so
yes.
they have a salad that they can put together. So on one side of your salad, we talked to some of you about doing your tomatoes and mozzarella and the greens. And the other side of the salad, do the mandarin oranges and the bacon, the cran raisins, the walnuts on that. And then pick your oil and vinegar. We've given you 3 oils and 3 vinegars tonight. I would suggest on one half, use that Koroneiki with your Greek seasoned balsamic. That's my favorite. I use it every single, those two together.
Jim Payne, that looks very nice.
So should we have people bring their up now? Okay. Go ahead, if you want to bring up your pictures.
The videos are up already.
And before I want to mention, I know my brother was going to do an actual tasting with you.
Yeah.
I don't know how many of you had the olive oil. Terry, do you have these in your store?
I don't. We talk about doing it in the blue.
Yes. So these are professional tasting glasses. specifically made for extra virgin olive oil. Just like wine glasses, they have olive oil glasses for olive oil. And this is what usually olive oil should be tasted. And the reason that is because the cup it's cupped, and it's used by the professional tasters who judge our olive oil. They always fill the cup to maybe a quarter of the way.
Okay.
You can actually do this with a bottle that you have. The proper way to taste it is to put it even in a glass cup, and you usually cup it. Yes, you cup it, and you put your hand to cover it.
Okay.
Now, if you don't have it, you can use a little cup like this, tasting cup. But in a glass, if you put it and you cup it, your hand acts as warms up the olive oil. That's why it's this cup.
Yes.
So it warms up so it allows the aromas to open up in the olive oil, and then they cup it to trap the aromas. And a lot of times they'll create a little friction in the rim just to kind of bring the aromas out, and then you smell it.
Just like wine. You smell,
just like wine.
You smell and you taste.
Just like wine. It's a very big indication. It allows you to see if the olive oil is authentic.
Okay.
To remember that olive oil is a fruit. You should get fruity notes. Although there's different olive varietals. Some that will give you grassiness, other ones that have banana notes, others that will have almonds or artichoke notes. It's very important that you smell it and then taste it.
It's amazing how many different fruits you can smell and taste out of an olive oil.
Yes. How many of you have our koroniki in front of them?
I think 15 people have it tonight.
15 people have it. Then you want to show them how to.
Oh,
yes.
Beautiful.
You see?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You got it?
So I mean, if everybody wants, you're able to do a tasting with us. If you have a little cup, or a small little glass of wine, like.
Can I do it from the bottle?
From the bottle, you can. You can. I mean, it just won't allow you to get all the aromas. all the aromas out, like in a wine glass, like the Dr. Jack 77. She had a nice little white wine that she was tasting, and her glass is very similar to this, just taller, and you could easily use one of those glasses.
Okay.
And you'll notice what's special with the koroniki. The koroniki, if you taste it, you put it in a little cup, and you trap it, you close it up in a little glass, and you smell it after you warm up the olive oil, you'll get a lot of green notes.
Yeah, you should get
a lot of grassiness in the olive oil.
That's right.
So it smells very fresh, very grassy, which would tell you, as I mentioned earlier, that the fruit was green. You can tell so much about an olive oil just by its aroma. That's why I always recommend that you smell the olive oil that you're buying. You always smell it. You put it close and you smell it, and you'll get grassiness, green notes. In the koroniki, it's very typical to get notes of banana and artichoke. A lot of, depending on the year, some of those notes will be more prominent one year than the other. But it's very typical for us to have those green, grassy, fresh cut grass notes in the olive oil. And when you do sip it, usually you'll take a little sip in the beginning, kind of breathe in just like wine. And you'll take a little bit bigger sip the second time. It'll make you, a lot of times, if you're not used to it, it'll make you cough.
Yeah.
The cough is a very positive attribute in the olive oil. Those are the polyphenols, the antioxidants in the olive oil.
We always
has antioxidants.
We always tell people if they start to cough or choke, that's a good sign.
That's a good sign, absolutely.
Those are the polyphenols, the antioxidants.
Yes.
And it goes very good with wine. Sherry Berkowski, very good.
We have the
Oh, Jody's okay, very nice.
at our house. We use it in our salads and everything every day. And it's kind of funny because the other day I was looking in the cupboard, and between my husband and I, we've brought home 5 bottles to make sure we have it.
Do you want us to mention the balsamics, or do I have any questions about olive oil?
We have to say your balsamics are some of our favorites. Some of the ones we have in stock are you have the lemon cucumber,
Yes.
the bourbon, the Greek seasoned we have in stock. The mango coconut will be out by Saturday.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful.
One.
Great summer.
The ones we have right now. And yes, talk to us about your balsamics and how you flavor those.
So,
and oh my gosh, we love them.
Thank you so much. So we are an award-winning extra virgin olive oil, so we had to pair up with a very small producer from Modena. Very small. We're the exclusively, there's such a small production, we're the only company that they supply. So our balsamics, we have darks and whites. The dark is very, very dense. Our most popular one is our lemon cucumber.
Yes.
This was very much Greek inspired, along with our Greek seasoning balsamic and our Greek seasoning olive oil. Those were inspired all about, we're trying to come up to make something that reminds us of Greece. And the most common ingredients that we use in Greece in almost every dish is lemons, oregano, onion, and pepper. So we put all those together to get our lemon, our Greek seasoning olive oil and our Greek seasoning balsamic. So the difference, unlike the olive oils where we have to actually crush the fruit, balsamic is water-based. So we use 100% natural fruit juices and fruit concentrates to make the balsamics.
Okay.
There's no oil because you won't blend. So we have to use the juices and the concentrates for our balsamics to give them that profile. The lemon cucumber is the one that paired the most with our koroneki. I use this on absolutely everything, on salads. I'll actually saute with it. It's amazing with seafood. Besides the fact the lemon cucumber, you can flavor your water coming up this summer. It's amazing.
Yeah.
With just a little bit, a
That's
tablespoon.
one for water.
Yes.
Yes.
We love your bourbon too. Your bourbon balsamic.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. Even when you're grilling, also use them. You can use them as marinades prior to grilling for tenderizing and flavoring, or even while you're grilling to give it that nice caramelization of that nice sweetness of the balsamic. Or just use it, or you can even use it as in the end, like I do in that pork chop. It goes amazing. So you can use them in a lot of different ways.
Absolutely. I think with the bourbon is one of my favorite. It's really, really good.
Yes, it is. What other questions can we answer?
Okay, everyone, do you want to open up your mic so you can ask some questions? And you can open up pictures too. I have some questions here too as we're waiting. So let me see if we've covered all of them. One of them was
one.
Yes.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello, Miss Muds.
I am one of the employees. I love the koroniki. So when you do say the vanilla olive oil,
yes,
are you using mostly the koroniki or a blend for that particular one?
So we're using 100% the koroneki.
Yes.
You are still. Okay.
It's 100% our koroneki.
The original.
Yes.
Okay.
Everything is derived from the original.
Yes. They also in their boxes have the roasted onion, and they have the Greek seasoned olive oil also, which is incredible.
Yes.
Yeah, the most,
We also have your dill. That's another one that we have in the olive oil.
In the dill, I use it
tuna
on.
fish.
Didn't use it on tuna fish. I use it on chicken. I actually marinate the chicken, and I'll saute it, or you can grill it with the dill. It's phenomenal. Chicken.
Wow.
Do you ever actually run out of olive oil?
We've come a couple of years where we came really close.
Okay.
Because harvest.
That's not good.
Harvest happens only once a year. The year we came really very close. We were down to maybe 1,000 liters left.
Oh,
Was
wow.
that because the production was lower that year?
Because when was it, last year or the year before?
The year before.
The year before was one of our most difficult years. We were having issues that year because we had a very warm, unusually warm winter. So temperatures in the 70s, upper 70s during the winter time. We had issues with the fruit fly. And fruit fly, usually during harvest time, it disappears. But that year, because it was so warm, the temperature never dropped low enough to kill it off. And the fruit fly did a lot of damage. It would go on our fruit, lay its eggs, and it would spoil the fruit. So what we had to do, that was a bad year for people to buy Greek olive oil, by the way, because a lot of producers were picking, in order not to lose the fruit, they were picking fruit fly infested olive fruit, and they were crushing it and selling it. That year, though, we had to literally wait. Once the fruit fly lays its eggs, it takes around 2 weeks for the fruit to fall on its own off the tree. So it was just a waiting game. But every day we were seeing it was rainy too and warm weather. The fruit fly was working days that we couldn't harvest. So we would watch literally a lot of our fruit fall. So we lost almost half of our production that year.
Now, after you have produced the olive oil and you have the extra leftover mash, you said you put that back out under the trees and things for fertilizer?
So yes, in Greece, obviously there's only a single crush. Did people know this, that there's only a single crush in making olive oil?
But
a lot of times people think there's multiple crushes. You'll see the term first press, cold press, which is a big marketing gimmick. There's only it's a single crush. And then obviously from that single crush, there is leftover. There's a lot of olive fiber left. What happens to that? Usually a lot of companies will come pick it up and they will do a second crushing at their facility. That is not considered extra virgin olive oil. That's where the pomace oils that you might have heard of come from. Pomace oil is made from that second crush blended with a little bit of virgin olive oil to make it consumable, because it's not meant for human consumption by itself. But yes, as we take it and we will put it back out on the olive grove, it acts as our natural fertilizer to kind of fix our poor soil, because it's sand, so there's no nutrients in it. So we have to give it. So what we give it, it gives back.
Someone asked if you ever put beehives in your area of the groves to have bees.
There are beekeepers around
There's
us.
beekeepers around us. We're limited to how many what beehives we can have, because strict regulations from neighbors complaining.
Okay.
So we have to be a certain distance away. So there are producers that that do put it, that have really, really big olive groves, or if the neighbors don't have a problem. But it's more of a danger hazard. There isn't. But as far as pollination, there's a lot of healthy bee population is very healthy right now in Greece where we are.
Okay, that's good.
Yes.
Do we have another question? Keep going. Okay, once you start to crush your fruit in November, you go about a month and a half by the time you get everything picked?
Right. So we harvest. We've harvest for typically a month and a half, 45 days, excluding rain days. So
Okay,
usually, if it's a very rainy, obviously we cannot harvest, but we harvest every day.
okay.
No days off.
How many other farms or groves are by you that produce olive oil?
Our region, there's a lot of olive oil producers picking fruit, but nobody picks when we're picking.
Yeah.
Okay,
Everybody
Are
picks we're the first producer out and the first producer to finish.
okay,
Usually, so when we're starting in November, everybody else, we're sea level, everybody else starts typically in early January.
that's because of the weather, the difference.
No, it's all about the yield. They don't want to lose, they don't care about the quality, they want value.
Okay,
They make fun of us when we're harvesting so early. They're like, what are you guys doing? Who are you?
we're special.
To what makes you so special? And it's all because it's all about the quality. You have to understand, producers have been trained to pick and to harvest in a certain way. You'd be surprised if I told you that a lot of producers, when they try our olive oil for the first time, they're shocked of the profile of our olive oil, because they're so accustomed to those oils from January and February that when they try it, they're like, oh, it's bitter for them. So they have acquired the taste of those oils because they've been harvesting a certain way for all those years.
Yes,
That's what they consider to be the right way. So when they see us doing something completely different, it's hard for them to understand.
but they're not winning the awards.
But they're not winning the awards. They're not.
Tell us, you just recently got a write-up in Forbes magazine.
Yes. I don't like to brag about us.
Brag!
I don't like to brag. We were featured up in Forbes for three olive oil producer, one of three olive oil producers to know we were the featured producer. And it has to do about the techniques that we apply to our olive grove. It's all biodynamic. We all care about the environment, and about making that very healthy extra virgin olive oil that has been, our biggest satisfaction is knowing that we've provided the best of ourselves, and we gave the best, healthiest extra virgin olive oil, because the truth is, this is the reason everybody's buying extra virgin olive oil. So we feel that we have to offer that and offer more value to that product than what we're receiving. This is the most important thing for us. Like seeing someone's face that they appreciate the quality that we gave them. This is the biggest satisfaction for us. This is winning 100 gold awards.
Yeah.
When I feel that, wow, you gave your heart and soul you put into this product, and it is an extremely healthy product, and it stands by its name. And I think that's why we were featured. We weren't even expecting it. I was in the middle of the harvest in Greece, and somebody called my cell phone, and they didn't say it was Forbes or anything. They're like, oh, someone would like to interview you. And I was like, look, I'm very busy. Well, I'm in the middle of the harvest. I don't think I have time to talk, because I'm so focused to make sure everything's done right. The fruit is crushed on time. Every day we're crushing. So I'm like, I don't know when I'm going to have time. He's like, please try to make the time. And I'm like, okay, after I finish the harvest, I'll talk to you for briefly, but then I have to go to the mill immediately. And I talked, they asked me some questions, and that's it. And then next thing I know, we're featured in Forbes. I'm like, okay, that was, a pleasant surprise.
A good surprise.
Good surprise. Yes.
Good. Once you have crushed the olives and you've made it into the extra virgin olive oil, do we have a picture of that? We have a picture of your extra virgin. After that, we'll show a picture. How long before you can bottle it?
So there's 2 ways you can do it. We naturally let the olive oil filter naturally.
Okay.
So you can force the filtration, or you can let the olive oil settle. So the olive oil, when it is crushed, it comes out cloudy. There's still olive oil fiber and sediment still in the oil. So what we usually do, we leave it for around 2-3 weeks to settle naturally, so the sediment settles, and we top it off. Top it off. And then what's left over, the olive fiber, we don't throw it away. The olive fiber, we take it and we make extra virgin olive oil soap. So there has been a long tradition in our parts, and it was actually my grandma's recipe that we use. We make our extra virgin olive oil soap from that, because back in those days there was no detergent, there were no chemicals or shampoos. So it was a custom that, the women were looking forward to the harvest so they could make extra virgin olive oil soap for that year. And we used it on everything. It was as a moisturizer for your skin, for your hair. They wash their clothes, everything with extra virgin olive oil soap. So that olive fiber, it goes into making our extra virgin olive oil soap.
You gave me a bar of your soap, and it's absolutely wonderful. We have to add it into our collection. That's one thing that people don't realize a lot of times, is that you can use olive oil directly on your skin.
Absolutely.
Healing, especially washing our hands so much right now.
Yes.
Doing a night with olive oil really helps.
Yes, absolutely. The other very important factor, I want to mention some of the health benefits of high polyphenol extra virgin olive oil. It is amazing for your heart. It has a lot of anti-inflammatory properties. A lot of anti-inflammatory. Those are only found in olive oils that have those antioxidants, those high polyphenol counts in the olive oil. It helps your blood sugar to keep it under control. Something else that extra virgin olive oil, there's another very important polyphenol, because within an olive oil, there's different types of polyphenols in the olive oil. There's vitamin E. There is a polyphenol in the olive oil that considered oleocanthal, which is one of the most important polyphenols in a high quality extra virgin olive oil. We were actually ranked top 10 in the world. We received a certificate for the high oleocanthal, which is the most important polyphenol counts in all the polyphenols in the olive oil. Those values are incredible for, it mimics ibuprofen.
Yeah.
Ibuprofen.
Anti-inflammatory.
And it's those anti-inflammatory properties in that. So it is very, very healthy. So everything has to do, when we're talking about health in olive oil, we're always talking about polyphenols. And it's also very important to create an olive oil, not only for us, for the last 10 years, we've had to create a balance in the olive oil. because you can make an olive oil that is overly bitter that you cannot enjoy in your dishes. It's not an olive oil that you can cook. So we've had to create a balance in the olive oil, an olive oil that is pepperiness, that has those polyphenol counts, and it's an ideal oil for cooking. And we have the Koroneiki allows us to have a very, very balanced olive oil. It's not, it doesn't have, it's balanced in the aroma, in the taste. So it's not overly one over the other. It is very, very balanced. So it's an ideal oil for cooking, for taking a little shot in the morning, to get those antioxidants in your body. I drink a lot of extra virgin olive oil. Greeks, actually, we're the largest consumers of extra virgin olive oil. A lot of people think the Italians come first.
They're number 2.
They're number 2. Greeks, we consume over 25 liters per capita, per person of extra virgin olive oil. The Italians and the Spanish come second after the Greeks, around 15 liters.
Okay.
So we almost consume double the amount. So the Mediterranean cuisine, of how healthy it is based on the Greek cuisine. People don't talk about it because of the amount of extra virgin olive oil that is in a dish.
That's something I taught wrong, because I thought it was about 13 liters at minimum, up to 20, but you guys are telling me 25. That's
Yes, we're 25. In certain regions in Greece, we're 30 to 50.
wow. And what are you guys?
Very a lot of olive oil.
Well, right now too, with everything going on, it's really healthy for fighting infections and things in our body.
Yes.
It's healthy.
A lot of times when I'm harvesting, you're brushing up against the trees, or I get a cut. It's very easy for me, I'll squeeze the fruit because of the polyphenols that's in the young fruit, and I'll rub it on my skin, and it will prevent it from swelling up. You get a cut, extra virgin olive right over the skin. It's amazing for the anti-inflammatory properties that it offers when the olive oil has those antioxidants.
Someone asked me today a question I didn't know. They said, does olive oil really take splinters out of your fingers and things?
Does it take splinters? I haven't heard of that.
Okay. I hadn't either.
I haven't heard of that.
I Googled it, and it says if you soak it, it's supposed to come out, but I don't know if that's true.
Okay, I don't know. I know people use it to clean their teeth, right? What do you call that? I forget the
Pulling.
What is it?
Pulling.
Yes, pulling there.
Yes.
Yeah, I read the splinter comment today online, and I was like, what? But they explained it softens up the skin, and then it makes it soft enough where the splinter just comes out. I just thought maybe you would know that. I don't know.
Well, what's interesting about that, the fact that you mentioned that, if you put our Koroneiki olive oil, it's very common for us to rub it on our skin. So we'll put our extra virgin on the skin. Also, if you want to get a really nice tan, put it on. It's very common for us to put it, and we go out. You don't want to stay more than 10 minutes because the sun just sucks. You'll get dark burnt. So you have light skin, go slow with it. But it's excellent for the skin, and it does soften it up. It makes it very moisturized, more velvety. If you put it directly and you leave it for a little bit, and your skin will absorb that olive oil. That's actually another way to see if your olive oil is real, because good quality olive oil, if it's not blended, it will soak into your skin. If you leave it, it'll soak in, and then you can go rinse it off after 30 minutes or so.
We have a question. How much olive oil should you have a day in order to get the anti-inflammatory properties working correctly for you?
So, they came out very interesting because they came out now. We're able to use a health claim on olive oils that are over 250 milligrams per liter. There's a health claim for those obviously our olive oil surpasses that.
Yes.
But there's a health claim that they recommend for those very high quality olive oils to take 20 20, I think they said in 20 ml or 20 grams. I mean, for me, I never count.
20 ml, so that's like 2 teaspoons.
I'll just take, a little, half a shot, imagine, in the morning, because the antioxidants will last, for a couple hours, and then I'll do one in the afternoon if you're taking it for health reasons. But now, if you're using it in your dishes, if you're cooking every day and you're putting it on your salad, or you don't necessarily need to be taking big shots of it. If you're going to be using it in your dish that day. I do, because I'm so used to drinking it.
Yeah, but if you try to get 2 to 4 tablespoons in there, that would be a good range.
I think that would be great for high phenolic olive oil. It is good. It's absolutely really good, and it's important that you get an olive oil that is high in polyphenols, because what happens in olive oil, and that's why we appreciate stores like you, Terry, who mentions that a lot of that information to the consumer. You mentioned that where you won't find it in your bottle of olive oil in the supermarkets. It's important to mention the polyphenols in the olive oil, because what happens is, over time, polyphenols in the olive oil drop. They drop. So that's why it's very important that you get an olive oil that is as higher than the 250 recommended, because by the end of the year, it might drop to that number.
Yep, as they age, it tends to go down.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
But there's no difference in whether for health benefits, whether you have a tablespoon in the morning just straight, or if you put it on your foods throughout the day, you get the same properties.
Yes, you can. When it's raw, if you do it in its raw form.
Okay.
If you have fresh vegetables, you put it on. If you boil or steam vegetables and you drizzle it off, something we do very, very often. We make we saute the asparagus, or if you steam spinach, we'll drizzle a good amount of extra virgin olive oil, not only because what the extra virgin olive oil also does, it absorbs the aromas, so it intensifies the flavor of the dish. A good olive oil brings out more of the notes of those greens. So this is something else that is very beneficial in a good olive oil.
So if you're roasting vegetables, then what you do to get your highest is use the olive oil while you're roasting, but when it comes out, do another little drizzle.
Exactly. Always finish it off.
Yes. Always.
And something else, right? When you have a high phenolic olive oil, and you're sauteing, the olive oil will not break down, because those high polyphenols is preventing the olive oil from breaking down, so it can handle those higher temperatures. So when we're sauteing, if I'm sauteing chicken, if I'm sauteing asparagus or vegetables, what I do is I take the pan with a little bit of olive oil, the asparagus. I don't, just pull out the asparagus or the chicken off. I take it with the pan, with a little bit of olive oil, and put it on my plate. That olive oil does not go to waste. I will, with a little bread or some good cheese, I will soak it up.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll get it. It won't break down on you.
Yes.
Because of those antioxidants in the olive oil.
One of our biggest things we have is educating people that you can use it in so many different ways, because
Absolutely.
most people come in and want it just for bread or a vinaigrette. And you can use oils and vinegars so many different ways in your daily life.
Yes, many, a lot of times we get asked, oh, is this considered a dipping oil? We never grew up with those terms. These are new terms, especially when we go to the supermarket and they say, oh, this is a dipping oil, this is for this, it is someone who knows olive oil would never look at those products. They won't even consider buying it. For them to say that, I automatically know that oil is not of high quality.
Okay.
When they mention, they use terms like this. A good olive oil, for us, we use it for dipping,
for everything.
We'll use it for dipping. We'll use it over vegetables in its raw form. We'll drink it, it'll go on everything.
Everything.
I'm talking about everything. There's no butter in our house. There's only extra virgin olive oil.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. What else did I want to mention? If I walk away with one thing that I want everybody to understand, it's also very important that olive oil, because obviously as a producer who focuses on making a very high-end olive oil, we're competing in a market where it is full of adulterated product, and they're calling their olive oil extra virgin olive oil when it's not, and especially when they're not even mentioning the how high of the antioxidants the olive oil truly has. If I could give one piece of advice, a lot of times I always say, always look, because that adulteration is so huge in the supermarkets, certain things that might help you pick a better product. I would always look for a type of olive oil mentioned. Is very important, an olive varietal mentioned on a bottle. When there's an olive varietal mentioned on the bottle, it puts that company more at risk if it does not have that varietal. It's like, for example, me putting calling a bottle, giving a generic title like wine, because that's what extra virgin olive oil is in the industry. It's called extra virgin olive oil. When you're very generic, it allows adulteration to happen. But when you're being very specific and you're not just saying it's a bottle of wine, it's a bottle of, it's a Cab or it's a Merlot or Bordeaux, you have a better chance that the olive oil, it may not be extremely healthy, but at least it's not being cut down or being adulterated with foreign oils.
Do you see a lot of adulteration of the oils in Greece on your supermarkets, or is it more here?
This is an international problem, especially in Greece, in the big cities. It is all over. It happens. It's everywhere. So they're trying to cover the demand. And what's happening is you might go to the supermarket and you might find a bottle of olive oil in Greece that is less expensive than the cost the producer was paid. And the producers were like, how is this possible? Big companies, they're trying to be competitive in the market. So when you're trying to be competitive and they know there's no governing body to test for adulteration in the olive oils, it allows, and they're all think about profits. Well, it's more profitable for them to cut down the olive oil, vegetable oil, and sunflower oil, since the consumer doesn't know what profile a high-quality extra virgin olive oil should have, or what extra virgin olive oil should taste like. So it allows them to get away with these. So it happens in Greece, but the olive oil varietal is very important that you find it. The other thing that is very, very important is the harvest date on a bottle. The harvest date is critical. It tells you how fresh the olive oil is, because harvest in olive oils only happens once a year. And never buy an olive oil if it has just an expiration date.
Wow. Did anybody get to taste the Korniki with the Greek seasoned balsamic out there?
Somebody asked if there's similar benefit to balsamic.
Oh, someone asked, is there similar benefits to balsamics?
There's definitely antioxidants in balsamic. It does not have the antioxidant that a high polyphenol olive oil has.
Yeah, different antioxidants.
They're different. Is it healthy? Yes.
It's all natural.
It's 100% now. It's made from the grape. It's from cooked grapes. Our balsamic is made from cooked grapes. So they cook down the grapes. So automatically when it is cooked to get that density, it's no added sugars. It's natural sugars, but it's cooked down. So when you're cooking at those temperatures to make it more dense, you lose some of those antioxidants. That's why you won't have those polyphenol counts that a high quality extra virgin olive oil would. Does that answer the question?
It does. Dino, you have some children, correct?
Not yet.
No, not yet. I'm expecting the first one.
Over in Greece, but not yet. There you go. Any other questions out there? You guys have given us so much great information. Do you have a video you wanted to share tonight?
Who, us?
Yes, or just ours that we're doing.
I mean, I have a video from, it shows the process. We have it on our Facebook.
Yes, we're going to share that on our Facebook also.
Share it.
People, because that was a wonderful, that was really, really nice, that whole.
Yeah, so it shows a quick glimpse of the whole process. It shows the condition of the fruit, of what is done on a typical harvest by us. So that's a beautiful video.
That's great.
I wish I would show it myself. I just don't know how to make Zoom work exactly. This is our first time on Zoom.
That's all right. We've got it. So
I want to say it's really, really nice to meet you.
Thank
After
you so
pouring
much.
so many bottles of Koroniki olive oil
Thank
in
you
the
so
store.
much.
It's just
Yes.
wonderful.
It means a lot to
Thank
us.
you.
Mugs
Thank
works.
you.
Mugs works for me. So she's one of my staff, and I think who else on my staff is here? Sherry's here.
Sherry's here.
Yep. Is Lori or Lisa here?
I'm here.
Is it Lisa or Lori?
Sherry.
Oh, that's Sherry.
Sherry, it's me.
Why do you cough after trying the oil?
I actually met you last summer, Diamantis.
I
Do you remember
remember you,
Okay.
Sherry.
that?
Oh, we had one more question. Why do you cough after you taste the olive oil? And that's that polyphenols hitting the back of that
Yes,
throat.
it's the polyphenols hitting the back of the throat.
Yes.
I will tell you, if you become accustomed to a high quality olive oil with high polyphenols, you cannot go back to the other olive oils.
Yes.
This, and I'm sorry we have to do this to you, but we have to educate you. But this is what happens. You won't be able to go back because at first it might be peppery or a little bit bitter, but once you try it on your dishes and you try another oil, you try to go back, that dish will not taste the same.
You are correct. I had that happen just the other day. I had a customer come in, and because it's hard for us to get around to places these days.
Yeah.
So someone had run out of my oil, and so they said they just ran into the supermarket and they wanted to get something until they could get to my store. He says, I brought it home, we put it on the dish, we all took a bite, and it went in the garbage. We couldn't
Yes, yes,
anymore. So it does make a big difference.
yes. I mean, you acquire the taste. You know, you acquire the taste of that healthy olive oil. Once you acquire that taste, you cannot go back. So you will stop coughing after a while, basically.
Yeah, and like my brother said, that quality olive oil should enhance the flavors of your meal.
Yes.
If what you're putting on your meal does not enhance the flavor, make it better, then it's a good indicator of two things. It's either been cut and blended, or it's gone bad. Quality extra virgin olive oil should, I believe, a nice, pleasant, fruity aftertaste.
That's great. Well, we were so excited to learn tonight from you guys.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
having us.
So
It
nice.
means a lot. It means a lot.
And we're hoping you come to Minnesota sometime to do
Yes, absolutely.
with us.
Absolutely. Wish us best luck on Monday. You know, we're going to be, if we receive another award, we're going to be the only Greek olive oil to ever accomplish such a thing in this competition. So it's,
You have to know
thank you
and
so much.
post it so everybody knows.
It's like the Oscars for us. You know, it's the Oscars in the olive industry.
Yeah.
To receive an award at this competition, because they're so strict, you know, you'll see a company win one year and not receive another award for another 2-3 years. So it's rare, very rare to be so consistent like us. You know, we're constantly, even the condition, even the year before when we had a terrible year, we received another gold award at that competition. It was the, it means everything to us.
It's fantastic.
It's an indication. It's like someone telling us, you did good. I'm proud of you. You made another wonderful olive oil. And this is the biggest satisfaction.
Somebody wants you to sell blue cups in your store.
Oh, someone wants me to sell the blue cups in my store. I'm gonna have-
Okay, those are good.
do you have them in your inventory for sale?
No, we don't, but I'm going to be looking for them. I'm going to be looking.
I'll take a few cases.
Yes, yes, yes.
That's good. Well, wonderful. Everybody out there, remember, we are still open, so you're welcome to come into the store 10 to 6 every day. We're doing curbside pickup, of course, if you call and place an order. We also are shipping a lot these days, and be sure to pick up some of our great Koroniki. If you haven't got it in your cupboard yet, you have to add it to your grouping on your countertop. We also want you just to be safe out there and know that we're there for you. If anything you need, just give us a call. It is Mother's Day weekend, so it's a great gift to give for moms too. So give us a call. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much. We
Thank you.
appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.